Stephen Colbert has been canceled. For what crime, you may ask? What has he done? I don't know. I mean, I do know, but I don't know specifically what he did that was so bad, considering the fact that Stephen Colbert, at least in his current iteration, might be one of the most standard liberal dudes you'll ever meet. However, he's a little mean to the president, so he will pay for that. Called out then for the settlement, which is that's true, right? But, however, he was it. Anyway, I'll cut this out. Stephen Colbert criticized him with the settlement. Why did they want to settle? Well, does it say it here? I mean, here we go. In a statement on Thursday, the network said that the late-night talk show has been canceled for financial reasons. Those reasons are associated with Paramount's proposed merger with Skydance Media, which requires federal FCC approval under the Trump administration. Paramount is a parent company of CBS. So, CBS wants to merge with Skydance. And, however, they had to pay a $16 settlement. Well, they didn't have to. They were getting sued by Donald Trump for what they thought was a deceitful portrayal of the election and a deceitful interview to Kamala Harris, as it says right here. But why did they settle it? Well, because, like I said before, they want FCC approval for their merger with Skydance Media. Now, I think Colbert's removal from the network, I think, has a component of true financial cost. However, I do believe there's a political cost to it. When you want approval from the government, and you have a guy that's not only criticizing the government, has been criticizing Trump for years, is criticizing your own actions in pursuit of approval from the government, I think that doesn't put you in a great spot. Now, we would say, Stephen Colbert, he's not a revolutionary. He's never been. He's a pretty normal guy. He's kind of the face of the resist lib movement. So why do you ask, is he being shut out? I think it's half and half. I think halfly he's being shut out for the financial reasons, the reasons they say. But I also think half of it is he's being shut out for political reasons, right? In order to gain approval for this merger, Stephen Colbert is the sacrificial lamb. He is, not only is his show being canceled, but he is being canceled. That's what I will say, I think, to an extent. Even if it's 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5% of the reason he is gone, I think that it is nonetheless a larger than 0% reason why he is gone. And I think that that's something we need to talk about, something we need to decipher, because in a world where you can't even be a resist lib and be safe, what can you be, right? What politics can you express on the Trump administration's watch, right, without being in trouble, especially when you work for a network that's so hell-bent on sucking up to them? And that's just the thing I want to say. I mean, the thing about it is that, I mean, like always, they've proven that the conservatives love canceling more than anyone else. And they have taken their next victim. I'm very worried about this because I think a lot of people do not like stuff like Colbert's show. And I get it. Not only do I get it, I understand it and see it sometimes. But I also think that there is, I think, undeniable service that Colbert gives when he makes the show, right? An undeniable good that he provides, even if a lot of the times he does provide bad. I think that you need someone who's going to push against Trump in a way that a lot of people who aren't as politically active and knowledgeable will understand and appreciate, in a way that I think a more thorough political analysis might not hit as hard as maybe what he's doing, right? I mean, and it's easy, I think, to get lost in it. We don't know a lot of people who interact with this kind of media, but he is big and he is loved among Gen X, among boomers, among older millennials. He was big since 2016 on the fight against Trump, and he is important. And I think there's an extent where we have to say, hey, maybe if some sort of pushback isn't exactly how we'd like it, not quite as biting or as thoughtful as we would like it, there still needs to be space for pushback that does the job. And that's something we forget. Something we forget a lot. Yeah, that's kind of all I have to say. I have to say, just be careful with the type of losses you celebrate, because at one point, if stuff like this is going away, we should be careful for what other things could go away, right? Because Stephen Colbert isn't that far left. And if the government can bully companies who already, probably support them anyway, into taking away the media that pushes back against them, it can be useful. And this is different than 2017. In 2017, you could pick on Trump because he was, in the end, just another president. Now he's really making a push towards authoritarianism. And I think there is an extent where you need a resist lib position on it to at least get people aware. And then once they're on your side, then you can get into further deep analysis, right? Because a lot of things is that if you give a shallow analysis, that can be a way to pull people deeper rather than starting off deep and not really getting them anywhere. But that's to say, deep analysis doesn't even really exist on cable TV. So I really think, even if you disagree that the shallow to deep analysis pipeline exists, you still need something, man. And if we get to a position where these opposition programs, even the lightest of opposition programs, are being removed, we might be in trouble, serious trouble. Thank you. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope you watched it. Last one was not watched, so I would like to talk more. It's not really about the watch as much as it's just about an outlet for me to express what I think about. So I wanted to kind of get this out and say that Stephen has been canceled, and we will not stand for it. All of us, will not stand for it.